Hi, this is Mike Levine. I'm at the Electro-Harmonix booth at NAMM with John Skibick, and we're going to see a bunch of new Electro-Harmonix pedals, and we're going to hear them too. So let's get started. What's up first?
Well, let's do the Soul Pog. So we put out a pedal called the Soul Pog, which is a combination of the Soul Food and the Nano Pog, all in one box. It has a few unique features. We can flip the order of the effects. So you can do the Nano Pog, polyphonic octave generator, going into the Soul Food, or the Soul Food, which is our transparent overdrive, going into the Pog. It also has an effects loop, so you can actually insert effects between those two pedals. So it's basically the Nano Pog side has 3 volumes. It's got a dry volume, an octave lower, and an octave higher. So it's basically just 3 volumes. So, you know, it kind of can sound like an organ if you wanted to, or you can do fake 12 strings. You can do bass guitar kind of simulations.
Well, let's hear it.
All right.
Enough of this talking. Let's hear it.
One other thing I want to mention is it has a mode switch, which is unique to this Nano Pog. And the mode switch is, when it's not lit, it's optimized for single notes, real fast tracking. And when it's lit, it's kind of like a sweetener for chords. So it kind of makes everything sound real nice and pretty. So first I'll put on the Soul Food. So here's my dry sound. Nothing in there. And the Soul Food, I'm sure some of your subscribers have heard it. It's just a transparent overdrive. Right. It's very popular. So I have it set kind of like a loud amp, but I'm not very loud. So it's a very warm and very uncompressed overdrive. So it just feels like an amp.
Great. Sounds great.
So what I'm going to do is I'll put that into the, let's hear the Nano Pog. So I have it set for a bass sound. So, you know, my regular. And I'll demonstrate why there's an effects order switch. So, right here, but so I have some distortion on it, and you'll hear the sound change. So this is the Pog going into the Soul Food. So you have this kind of sound.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and I'll switch it. So it's a different kind of tonality, which is kind of neat. Okay, so now I'll demonstrate what the octave up sounds like.
Okay.
So here's an octave up. And I have the mode switch on, so the light is on, and it's kind of a sweetener.
And can you blend that with the regular sound?
Yeah, we can get kind of a 12-stringy thing.
Wow. That gives me an idea for a song.
I got this. There's this guy Bob that's playing down in the village. You should go hear him. It's also like tracking is this kind of cool thing. So when I have it off and I blend in, you can hear the tracking. It's really kind of instantaneous. And when I put the mode on, it'll get a little slower, but it still sounds neat.
So you kind of hear the 2 notes more distinctly that way.
Yeah, you do. But which is also a neat thing. But it just sounds better for chords. If I turn it off, you'll hear. It just doesn't sound quite as sweet. But that's like just unique to the Nano Pog, so I just want to demonstrate.
Cool. So what's the next pedal?
Let's go to our Leslie simulators. So we have 2 Leslie simulators. One's called the Lester G for guitar, so the Lester G, and then the Lester K for keyboards. So let's hear them first.
So it's got a little bit of distortion in it.
Oh yeah, I have a lot. I'll turn it down in a little bit. First I'll tell you about it though. So the Lester G has a built-in compressor. So that's to make make sure you hear all that swirly sounds, because a guitar doesn't have a lot of sustain unless you're using a Les Paul, of course, or some kind of aluminum-necked guitar. Who knows? But yeah, so we have the compressor built in there, so you can really get that swirl going. And it has just a fast and slow speed. It has an expression pedal port for the ramp speed, so you can just kind of control it with your foot.
Oh, cool.
Which is cool. When you don't have an expression pedal, it has an acceleration knob, so you can determine the speed of the ramp up between the two fast and slow speeds that you preset. You can go instantaneously to them or really slow getting to it. Leslie kind of winds down and stuff like that. So I can turn a little bit of the drive off, and you'll hear that it does sound nice and pristine. So.
Very nice.
Yeah, it sounds real pretty. So it's a mono in and a stereo out. Now, we also decided to make another one called the Lester K, and that's mainly for keyboards, but you can put your guitar through it if you already got a compressor. It has stereo in, stereo out. It doesn't have the expression pedal port, but it has the drive, and it also has a balance. They both have a balance control, so you can kind of make it more woofery sounding or more trebly, to cut more. But it has a drive, and I'll play that, and you're going to hear it's going to sound really similar. And then if I add a compressor to it, you get that Lester G sound.
Just to be clear, that was an external compressor that you just added from another pedal.
Yeah. In fact, that leads us to our next pedal.
Wow.
Pretty smooth.
Good segue, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty smooth. I've been working on it for 3 days now. This is the 4th day, man. So the bass preacher is, we have a soul preacher, which is our compressor. So this one's made for bass. So it lets more bass through. It's really simple, volumes and sustain. And the attack knob is just a switch that goes fast, medium, or slow for the attack. So it's when the compression starts. Okay. So I can just play it real quick. It's very subtle but sounds great. Sounds great on bass, but you can use it on guitar, and I like it on guitar. So that's without it. Duck that a little bit. So. So it kind of lets your attack come through a little bit, and it's not so squishy. And it's more natural sounding. So
sounds pretty good on guitar too.
Yeah, I really like it.
And the next?
Yeah. Well, we did 1, right? Yep. 2, 3, 4. Oh, the next one is behind you.
Aha. Da-da-da. Super Space Drum.
Yes, that's correct. The Super Space Drum. It's a reissue of our 1980, 1979 pedal, faithful reissue. And if you hit this button, Larry DeMarco smiles.
Larry DeMarco is sitting over there for those in the audience.
See, he's cracking up. Look at it, all different kinds of stuff. He can't stand it. So all different sounds. So you can get great drum sounds, really deep, low sounds. We can't reproduce them through a guitar amp, but it goes really low. And it kind of we have a crash pad that we talked about before, and kind of complements that. So that's more for like snares and cymbals. This is more like drums.
Now this is strictly triggered from the button, or do you have an external trigger input?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So you can actually hook it up to a sequencer. You can hook it up to a drum pad. It's great for like the EDM crowd and the noise guys that want to do weird noises.
Those people.
Yeah. It's just a funny little box, and it's really fun to play around with.
Let's hear a few more of the sounds. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Great,
This is very
thanks.
cool.
Awesome. Thanks.